Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Plants. Thanks for checking out my channel. I really do appreciate the support. Today I'm going to show you where to prune on a Hoya in order to propagate it in water. So let's chop it up. So I'm going to start by cutting this kind of longer strand off, and where I'm going to make the cut is just past this leaf, just closest to the leaf node. So take some nice clean sterile pruning shears and just make a cut like that, just so you have a whole strand like this. Right here, this little portion where you made the cut will dry up and die back, and a new growth stem will most likely pop out from this closest leaf node. This is a Hoya Crinkle 8 that I recently propagated. You can see this is where I made the cut right there. And this little nub right here is the new growth point. So it's popping out through the leaf node, leaf line area here. And this is where a new vine will eventually start pushing out some new leaves and stems. So this is what it'll look like. And I'll show you the cut portion of the water propagation Hoya Crinkle 8 here in a second as well. Here's another longer stem that's branching off from the Hoya Carnosa here. And again, I'm just going to cut it back as close as I can to that leaf node. And again, just snip it off like that. And eventually it should start to branch out again in this area. So here's the Hoya after its little haircut. There's the cut right there, and another one, I don't know where it is, but I'm going to set that aside, and here are the two strands that I'm now going to cut up into single leaf cuttings. This is the end portion up here. This is the cut portion. So I'm going to cut, again, just above. Let's see if I can get closer. I'm just going to cut just above this leaf node, just like that. And I'm just going to go kind of up the vine, making single leaf cuts here. And for this one, I'm just going to discard this piece, as you can try rooting it, but I'm not going to. So here's the second vine. I'm just going to cut all these up here as well. So all these 8 individual cuttings will start to produce their own stems. So you have 8 new Hoya plants. Now I have this smaller, it's kind of a shallower propagation container. I want them to sit in it without falling out. So you might have to trim back a little bit of the stem depending on the size of your propagation container. I chose this one because I just want to kind of drape it over. Well, that didn't work. I want it to just kind of drape over the side, something like that. You can hang them on the side. Just make sure that you don't, or try not to have any of the leaves in the water. But this is a pretty easy project. Just put it in some water. I don't know what I'm going to do with this guy now. The leaf might have to go in the water. So I'm going to trim this one back. Again, so I can just hang it on the side. Might be a little difficult to see on camera, and I'll show it here with my Crinkle 8 water cutting here in a second, but you can see these little bumps along the edge of the stem here. This is a little aerial root, so this is probably one area where a root will pop out of. Here's another one right there. Here's another good example of multiple little bumps on the stem, which most likely that's where the roots will pop out from. There, all the cuttings are now in water. I will probably change this out every week or so, just give it some fresh oxygenated water. So I'm going to set this aside. You should start to see roots probably within the next 2 weeks or so, now that spring is coming. Place this in a bright sunny area and just wait for the roots to pop up, and then you can eventually repot it into fresh soil. And you can start an entirely new Hoya plant just from these single leaf cuttings. Here is the Hoya Crinkle 8 cutting that I've been propagating in water for a few weeks, and you can see all these little white bumps along the stem. These are where the roots are popping out, and you can see even up top there. So I did keep 2 leaves or 2 leaf nodes on this cutting, and yeah, once it starts to grow, I guess, roots long enough, about maybe an inch or 2 in length, I'll put it back in the container with the other Hoya Crinkle 8. That way it makes a more fuller pot. I'm actually just going to stick this cutting right in here. So this is one method of propagating Hoyas. I know a lot of people use sphagnum moss as a propagation medium with quite good success, but I prefer the water method. I've even seen some people root many different types of plants in perlite. So I might actually do a video comparing, I guess, the root growth or progress between water, sphagnum moss, and perlite. Let me know if that's something you would like to see. So just leave a comment down in the video. If you propagate Hoyas, let me know the type of method that you use or which one you prefer. So that's gonna be it for this water propagation Hoya video. If you guys have any comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. Otherwise, like I always say, thanks again for the support. I really appreciate it. Take care, everyone. Bye.